Hi, I'm Bruce Mackay from Mackay Insurance. Mackay Insurance has been a proud member of the Bay of Quinte community for the past 45 years, delivering quality and effective insurance products. We've also been a proud sponsor of the Belleville Senators since their inaugural season in 2017. We are proud to sponsor the development of professional hockey in our region. I'm Bruce Mackay, and this is Road to the AHL.
Well, I think for me, obviously I went to University of Toronto, got my degree, played there, and got the coaching itch really when I was at University of Toronto, and specifically dove into some courses like sports psychology and stuff of that nature. But so I kind of knew back then that coaching was going to be in the future at some point. But had an opportunity to continue playing. It's the NHL dream was probably very remote at that point, but had an opportunity to go play in Sweden for 2 years, which I thought was a great experience in terms of traveling some European countries, and again had an opportunity as well to, when I got back, to go to the States and play in the ECHL. So probably held on a little bit too longer than I should have, but when I was 30, actually, Bruce Boudreau had asked me to pack it in and become a coach then, and I actually turned him down and played a couple more years, but finally made the move there with Columbia, South Carolina, which was at the time Manitoba's affiliate, and Vancouver, and became an assistant coach there, all through networking and connections, and so that's kind of where it all got started. I dabbled in it the year before, actually, as a player assistant coach. I didn't play much, but the transition had started then, and I was fortunate. I become a head coach real quickly. Ted Denton moved on to the American League in Norfolk with the Chicago Blackhawks organization, and I stepped in right away. And then just through my Bruce Boudreau, Bob Woods connection, they were with Washington and Hershey, and had an opportunity to go there as an assistant coach. So that's really, again, all about the networking and knowing people, and was fortunate to get with, one of the best franchises, obviously, in the American League. When you end up in Hershey, obviously, there's a lot of great moments there, and I think I was very fortunate to spend 8 years with that organization, and that's very difficult in the coaching fraternity to spend that many years with the same organization. I mean, I walked in there, the team was coming off a Calder Cup. Washington at that point was just starting their makeover. They were early on in the Ovechkin era. But when you coach in Hershey, it's all about winning. It's all about raising that cup to the rafters as much as you want to develop players. If you don't win there, you don't stay. And my first year, I had the opportunity not only to coach at the All-Star game, we also won the Calder Cup with probably the best team I've been part of in my 12 years. That team had everything. We won 60 games in the regular season for a reason. Very, very difficult to do. And so that was an accomplishment, and obviously raising the Calder Cup in my first year, how much better can it get? In 2016, we went to the Calder Cup final. Obviously, we couldn't finish the job and played a very good Cleveland team. But that was an unbelievable experience because, as much as we had some prospects coming along there and a good bunch of guys, I don't think the division was very, very good that year. And it was just more of the team makeup and the team camaraderie. It wasn't like my first year as the assistant where we were by far the best team in the league, and it would have been a disappointment not to win the Calder Cup, where I thought to some degree in 2016, we probably overachieved a little bit, and and my coaching staff was phenomenal that year as well. So those probably, in my 8 years there, probably stood out the most. Yeah, I think, it's obviously different coaching with Ottawa and Belleville compared to Washington and Hershey. But the thing that probably intrigued me the most was I knew that Ottawa was going into a rebuild, and they were going to build it slowly with a lot of draft picks. Obviously, my brother had taken over as the head amateur guy, and that was intriguing, that if I was able to get the job, that'd be an opportunity to coach some of his and his staff's draft picks, there was a lot of good fits. And Laurie and I both grew up in really small towns, and so Belleville was attractive in that sense too. With Larissa, we wanted a smaller type of community, so it's worked out unbelievable, to be honest with you. We love this area, and just the amount of players we've been able to get to Ottawa. It's been very, very good.
Troy just come off that Hershey run where a lot of the players that played in the American Hockey League were now becoming the NHL team pretty much, and they were fighting for Stanley Cup. So it kind of seemed kind of fitting for us. That's kind of what we wanted to do, and he'd already shown he could do it. So for us, it seemed to be kind of make sense, and the timing seemed to be to just kind of work out. Yeah, I think it's his honesty with them. Like he doesn't allow them to pretend that that they're going to be something that their skill set or their package will not allow them to be, and so he's working to allow them to get to a point where they can contribute at the NHL level. And to get to the NHL, not a lot of players can do that. So sometimes for a player to hear, okay, if you do this, and this is going to give you the best chance to be an NHL player.
I think you got to treat the players fair, right? I mean, unfortunately, fairness doesn't always mean equal, but the two things that I want for our players is, first, you want to be able to be honest with them, and I think sometimes honesty is the tougher part, and I want them to know as well that I care about them, right? So those two factors certainly allow you to get on the same page as most of your players. Now you certainly understand that not every player is going to love you along the way, especially when you're in the business a long time. But I think if you're honest with them, with no gray, it's either black or white, and you show the ability to care about the person and treat them fairly, I think most times the players are going to be in your corner, and I think that's certainly been one of my strengths over the years. Well, it's certainly a grind, and you gotta be, not only do you gotta anticipate the grind, you gotta put the work in, right? And I think a lot of people, players specifically, don't really understand what it takes to be the coach or coaching fraternity until you get into it. And it's certainly changed over the last 20, 30 years, with the video and just even the amount of coaches that are part of the staffs now. It's just, it takes work and it takes passion. And if you have those components, then you can make it work. And as long as I continue to have the passion and the work ethic, I'll coach until someone doesn't want me around, regardless of the level, because that's what you love to do.